Hi guys, it's Mark from Burton Bibles, back with another video review of an edition which came out in November 2021 from Cambridge University Press, and it is this, the Turquoise Bible, which is a King James Version typeface, which dates all the way back to the 1920s, so it's quite an old typeface now, but it is a lovely one and has a great many benefits to it. This is the edition that was bound in black calfskin leather, and it comes with a full Yapp. Now we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. So presently, before this edition came out, the turquoise was available in a black goatskin or a black calf split leather. I have the goatskin version here, and both were very nice. The goatskin edition sort of was priced at around the £200 retail, and the calf split was priced more around the £130. So both were quite premium editions, shall we say. But this new calfskin full Yapp edition is very much the flagship of the range. The calfskin is absolutely beautiful, feels absolutely fantastic, really soft, really flexible, as you can see. And the full Yapp is really a different thing from Cambridge. I think this is the first full Yapp Cambridge Bible that I've seen, and as you can see, it's very generous with its overlap of the book block, which will give the text block a bit of protection from the wear and tear of everyday use. But this really is a top premium, I would say, binding from Cambridge. We'll take a look at it out on the desk very shortly and have a really good look at this new edition, but it's only been out a few months. It's kind of slept under the radar a bit, I think, because of a couple of other releases from Cambridge, such as the Diadem and the Family Chronicle Bible, but the turquoise is still much beloved by many people who want a King James Version Bible, and in particular want their King James Version Bible in a traditional format. So they like the older style fonts, and they like the two-column format with verse by verse and centre column references. It is very much a traditional Bible. It is very much a time-honoured Bible, and maybe it's a Bible that you would like to take a closer look at. Let's take it down to the desk and I'll show you a few things about why I think that could be the case. Okay guys, so here we are. This is the Turquoise Bible from Cambridge, and this is the newer edition that was released late last year, approximately November 2021 time. So it's the turquoise with the calf skin cover, and it has a full Yapp on it. That's what makes this Bible different from the rest of the turquoise range. Now, as I said in my intro, the turquoise previously came in and is still available with a black goatskin, which is this one here. We'll have a closer look at how that compares shortly, but that is the black goatskin. Lovely Bible, edge bound, but without the full Yapp. This edition is very much the flagship of the range now. This is with the calfskin and a full Yapp, and you can see as we look at start off by looking at perhaps the outside of this Bible, you can see just what a difference that full Yapp makes. It is quite a substantial overlap from the normal goatskin edition. So you can see that it adds, if we get our ruler out, that's about 25 centimetres long. This one is about 26.5. So it adds a full 1.5 centimetres to the height, and it also will add a bit to your width as well. It will add 16.5 plays more like 17.5, so it'll add about 1 centimetre to the width across. So just bear in mind that it will increase the footprint, if you like, of this Bible a little bit. But you can see from the goatskin edition that the sort of the Yapp, if we were to try and measure the Yapp, it stands at about 1 centimetre, so 10 millimetres overlap, whereas this full Yapp edition, if I look at it correctly, is more like the best part of 2 centimetres. So it's adding quite substantially. Let's just hold that up to the camera. It's adding quite a bit of overlap, so you can see that hopefully in the light, and you can compare that for yourselves. It does add make up quite a bit of difference. But you will notice that the text block basically looks the same. We have the same art gilt page edges, and we have the same sort of ribbons. Although by the looks of things, this calfskin one does come with 3 ribbons as opposed to the 2 in the normal goatskin edition. So you are getting a extra ribbon. So for people who like ribbons, that should please you greatly. As you know, I'm not too fussed by ribbons, but these ones, I can certainly tell you as we open the Bible, are top quality. They are great ribbons, and ribbon lovers will be very pleased with them, I'm sure. But let's just concentrate on the outside of this Bible. This cover is absolutely outstanding, I have to say, and if I'm being honest with you, I prefer this to the goatskin. I really do. I prefer this leather. I just think it is so wonderfully soft. It's so beautiful to hold in the hands. It's very flexible, as you would probably imagine. And this is a full calfskin leather cover. So if the goatskin, if you remember, it's a goatskin outer, but it has a calfskin liner. So it was a full leather cover, unlike some of the Cambridge editions which had edge-bound goatskin covers but with synthetic liners. For example, the Concord wide margin, the Concord, the Cameo, the Clarion, all of those goatskin editions had a synthetic liner, which was fine by me. I didn't really mind it at all. But the Turquoise ups it a notch and uses a full leather cover. Now, this Turquoise has a calfskin outer and a calfskin liner, so it is basically pure calfskin, and it will tell you that on the inside of the Bible. It is edge-lined, as you can see. The book block has been attached using the tab there that you can just about make out, and it runs along the spine. So this book block isn't held in place by a vinyl paste down liner or anything like that. It's actually attached to the inner liner that comes inside here. So really secure binding, a very top quality binding. This is a premium binding now. This is from Youngblood, Royal Youngblood in the Netherlands. So all of Cambridge's top line Bibles are printed and bound in the Netherlands by Royal Youngblood. And that should give you a good amount of confidence in this Bible, because it is a costly Bible. This retails at £250, but as I hold this in my hand and as I've been using it and leafing through it, it is absolutely top quality and well worth that price, I would suggest. This should serve you for many, many years to come. And more to the point, because it has the full Yapp, which we can see there, it is offering the book block quite a bit of protection. So as that wears in and as it maybe folds around the book block, you'll see that it's giving you quite a bit of protection on this lovely gilt edging. Now, about the outside of the Bible, you can see that it has the same ribs here on the spine that the goatskin version and the the calf split I don't think has these. This is in particular for the higher level bindings, but these are really, really nice, and they give the spine a nice bit of strength and support. And you've got your usual markings on the spine. King James version, we have the crest there for Cambridge, and for the King James version, which they have a license to print, and we have the red letter edition. This is only available in a red letter edition, which is true across the Turquoise range. So your goatskin and your calf split versions will be red letter only. So we have Holy Bible on the front here. We have a little tooled sort of marking there. You can probably make it out. Which runs roughly in line with the text block dimensions, so you can see something of the size of the Yapp by looking at this tooled marking around the perimeter. And it is perimeter stitched as well, as you can see there, and that will basically keep these two pieces of leather, the outer and the liner, securely held together for all time, hopefully. And the corners, as you can see there, are very nicely done, as you'd expect from Cambridge and Royal Youngblood. This really is an outstanding production. I cannot fault it. Look at the flexibility on this leather. It's just wonderful. You can really do Bible yoga with this, and it's just wonderfully flexible, as you can see there. Now you can do that with the goat skin, but this calf skin really feels super supple and really nice in the hand. For one-handed preaching, yes, it is going to fold over, but you can hold it one-handed like that, and still read from the text and preach one-handed should you wish to do so. Obviously on the desk, as we open it up, it's going to lie super flat. The tabs on the inside of these edge-bound editions do tend to give a little bit of resistance to lying completely flat, so you will get this sort of ridge line here, but it's not a problem for this edition because there is sufficient space in the gutter to allow that text to come out and breathe a bit. We'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm referring to there. But I think that will give as well. So on a big Bible like this, with a fairly weighty text block on each side, it will sort of press down. It will give some pressure and some weight to the inside, so that should open flat just fine wherever you care to open it. And as it wears in, that will only get better. So, an absolutely beautiful and very high quality production. With Cambridge you'll get your sort of inserts, which is the details of the limited warranty and a little note about edge-lined Bibles, which you get with these higher end editions. But let's just take a little look at the inside of this beautiful Bible. There's some card sheets, as you'd expect, and some presentation pages. And then we will see that this is indeed the turquoise. It will say turquoise 8VO there, and that's the typeface of this Bible. It is the turquoise with cross references and pronunciation marks. So yes, it does have pronunciation marks, which we will see when we get to passages like Matthew chapter 1 and things like that. So just be aware of that. There we go. So you'll see the pronunciation marks there. Just offer it up a bit more, and you can look at what those marks mean, and it will help you to pronounce words a bit better. That's what it means. But some people don't like them. I'm not a big fan of them, but I can give or take them basically. So let's just take a little look at the production information. As mentioned, it is printed and bound in the Netherlands by Royal Youngblood. There's some details on the paper here, which is the top quality Indopaque paper that we've seen from Cambridge to be used in a lot of their flagship editions. It's 28 GSM. It feels absolutely fantastic in the hands, and as you leaf through it, you get a very sort of satisfying feel and satisfying sound to it. It's a top quality paper which should last for many years. You can't get better paper than this. The opacity is fantastic, as you can see from these shots. Hopefully you're getting that from the footage. There is some artificial light in here, but there is plenty of natural daylight coming in as well. So this looks very close to the reality, in fact, and there is next to no ghosting, next to no distraction or noise coming through from the other pages. So the paper that's being used in this edition is first class, and you just can't improve on this paper. So top marks to Cambridge for using the very best for this flagship edition. It is a red letter, as I said, so there's an example of the red that is used. Hopefully you can see something of the contrast there. It's a bold red, and it's fairly evenly printed, so there doesn't seem to be too many discrepancies on that red. So it is a very good red letter though, and I've had absolutely no problems using it or reading it. It's outstanding. Now, to go back to the turquoise format, we have the type typesetting details here, and as you can see, it's typeset in antique old style number 3. It's a 10-point font, and that antique old style font is lovely. There we have a good look at it. It's very clear, it's very bold, very readable, nice big characters. Yes, it is an older style font, which, to be honest, befits this King James Version just nicely. It's very similar to the Cameo, and for that reason I think I really like the Turquoise. It's like almost like a supersized version of the Cameo. So if you like the Cameo, you'll probably like this. It's a bit bigger, a 10-point font as opposed to an 8-point font, but it does remind me quite a bit. And from the layout of the Bible, you'll also probably get that impression, because this does remind me of the Cameo. There are 2 columns with a centre column reference section, and they work very well. It uses the letters, so basically you'll look for letter A in the text and you'll have a reference for letter A, and these are the cross references, which are very good. And that also is true of the Cameo. So obviously on the channel coming up soon, we'll be looking at the new goatskin versions of the Cameo, and we'll see some similarities there for sure. You'll notice running headers across the top. I'm a big fan of that. It just really helps me position where I am in the scriptures. And everything about this Bible is super clear. Nice big chapter headings. You'll notice there's no chapter breakdowns. And again, that is true of the Cameo as well. So this Bible, printed around the same era as the Cameo, the 1920s in the UK, this seemed to be the style that was prevalent. And I, for one, really like it. Maybe it's because I just grew up with it and I quickly latched on to a Cameo in my early 20s, and that has just been part of how I've been brought up on the Word of God. But I'm a big fan of this style, the 2 columns, the centre column references, running headers, no chapter breakdowns, letters for the cross references. There are numbers as well, by the way, which basically give you alternative renderings or translator notes, so they are there as well. So for this one, you've got a note there. So, and again, that's true of the Cameo. So lots of similarities here, but it's just like a maximum size Cameo. So there you go. Now, if we do fire back to the beginning, in this Turquoise, you will see that you've got the translator's letter to the reader, and this is something that they put in here when the Turquoise was brought back into print. When it was improved, all of the text along with the Cameo was sort of scanned and enhanced and digitized from those original plates, and they chose to put in the translator's letter to the reader, which is great. So that is found in this Bible, and you will also get in this Bible a nice big concordance. And I will say that the concordance has been updated as well when the Turquoise was re-released a number of years ago. I think it was about 5 years ago, something like that. So you'll get a nice big concordance, and I have tried it and tested it. It is a good concordance, so that should be handy to most. I, for one, really appreciate a decent concordance. And you're going to get those Cambridge maps, the 15 maps that are now very familiar to us, copyrighted to Cambridge. Nice, glossy and full colour, and plenty of maps there in the back. So really do like this Bible. What it's offering is a complete Bible, a complete study tool, a complete Bible for preaching, for study, for private reading. It's nice big font, so you shouldn't need to worry about the lighting or having your readers on, that sort of thing. It really does provide a fantastic reading experience, and you can't get it in a better format than this, in my opinion. The binding, the paper, the presentation of this Bible is just first class and top notch. So well worth a look. Do check it out on the Burton Bibles website. I'll put a link in the description. Take a closer look at it, particularly if you're after that more traditional style of layout, of format, of font. If you're a fan of the Cameo, maybe this would be a good option for you for a slightly larger print. We'll catch up on another video soon. So that's the Turquoise Full Yapp Bible from Cambridge, available now. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.